In the history of football, there is a ghost that haunts every young prodigy. That ghost is Lionel Messi. For 15 years, the world waited for the next one. We looked at Bojan, we looked at Halilovic, we looked at Ansu Fati. We were always wrong. But now, something has changed. A 16-year-old kid from Rocafonda steps onto the pitch for Barcelona, and for the first time, the comparison doesn't feel like a joke. It feels like a mirror. Lamine Yamal is not just another prospect. He is the first player in history to carry the weight of the greatest of all time without buckling under the pressure. Let's look at the numbers. At 16 years and 338 days, Lamine Yamal became the youngest player to ever play in a European championship. He didn't just play, he dominated. Compare that to Messi. When Messi was 16, he was still fighting for minutes in Barcelona's youth academy. He didn't make his senior debut until he was 17. This is not to say Yamal is better, it is to say he is faster. The timeline of his ascension is moving at a velocity we have never witnessed before. Look at the trajectory of their development. Messi was a slow burn. He was a product of the most meticulous tactical system in history, Pep Guardiola's Barcelona. He was nurtured, he was protected, he was allowed to grow in the shadow of Ronaldinho until he was ready to take the throne. Yamal? Yamal was thrown into the deep end of a drowning club. Barcelona in 2024 is not the Barcelona of 2008. The financial instability, the constant coaching changes, the pressure of a dying legacy. Yamal inherited a burning building, and yet he is the one holding the fire extinguisher. The playing style is where the comparison becomes eerie. It is the left foot, it is the way the ball seems to stick to his studs like it is coated in magnets. It is that specific, tight radius dribbling that defies the laws of physics. When Messi cuts inside from the right, the defender knows exactly what is coming. They know the curl, they know the pass, and yet they cannot stop it. Yamal possesses that same terrifying inevitability. He moves with a calm that defies his age. He does not panic. He scans the field with the eyes of a man who has lived 10 professional lives. But there is a fundamental difference in the eras they represent. Messi grew up in an age of relative footballing innocence. The social media scrutiny was lower. The tactical analysis was less obsessive. He was a secret that slowly became a global phenomenon. Yamal lives in the age of the algorithm. Every touch he makes is analyzed by 10,000 accounts on X within seconds. Every mistake is a viral clip. He is the first superstar built in the furnace of the TikTok era. Does this help him or does it break him? Consider the physical demands. The modern game is faster than the game Messi played in his early 20s. The pressing is more intense. The tactical structures are more rigid. Messi survived because he adapted. He went from a winger to a false nine, then to a playmaker. He survived by becoming a genius of efficiency, running less so he could strike harder. Yamal is currently a winger. He is a pure creator. But can he evolve? Can he retain this magic once the league scouts have his pattern mapped out to the millimeter? There is a famous photograph. It was taken in 2007. It shows a young Lionel Messi washing a baby in a tub. That baby was Lamine Yamal. It feels like a myth, but it is real. The torch was literally held by the king before he even knew he was a king. But here is the truth that people hate to hear. The comparisons are unfair. They are unfair to Messi because they minimize the singular, divine nature of his career. And they are unfair to Yamal because they ask him to be a god before he has even finished growing up. Messi's career was defined by longevity. 20 years at the top, 8 Ballons d'Or, a World Cup victory that silenced the final doubters. Yamal's career is a blank page. We are watching the beginning of something, but we do not know if it is a sprint or a marathon. The danger for Yamal is not a lack of talent. The danger is the expectation. We have been conditioned to see a brilliant young player and immediately demand they surpass Messi. If they don't score 30 goals a season, we call them a failure. If we treat Yamal as the next Messi, we will lose Yamal. We will be so busy looking for the ghost that we will miss the person. Lamine Yamal has the vision, he has the touch, he has the composure, But he needs time. In 20 years, we will look back at this moment. We will either say this was the birth of the next titan, or we will say this was the moment we started demanding too much too soon. The ghost of Messi is a heavy burden to carry. It can inspire greatness or it can crush a spirit. The question isn't whether Lamine Yamal can reach the level of Lionel Messi. The question is whether we are capable of letting him become the first version of himself. Football loves to repeat itself. It loves a narrative. But history rarely gives us the same miracle twice. Sit back, watch the kid play, and stop counting the trophies before he has even won his first. The era of the GOAT is passing. The era of the next superstar is just beginning. But maybe, just for once, we should let the boy play without the ghost looking over his shoulder.